Man, I hope we're on part 10, but if we're not, just ignore me. We're on 2 group combos, the table, and it says 3-3 note phrasing. Well, what we're talking about is 2 groups of rudiments. 1, 2, 3. That's a rudiment. 1, 2, 3. That was from the 1 group on part 1. 1, 2, 3. That's a 1 group of 3 notes. That's as small as we get in ternary, that is. Or right, right, left. That's 1 group, but we got to put 2 groups together. Now we get 6 notes. So there's 64 possibilities of combinations of that first table. Wow. 64 possibilities. That's amazing. Why? Because there's 8 in the table. There was 8 options in the table, and 8 times 8 is 64 possible combinations, one with another. And that creates a 3-3 phrasing. 3 notes and 3 notes. So that's 1 combination. That's another combination. 3. So, and I put the accent at the beginning of each group so you can see that. And that'll help you see the 3-3 phrasing. And underneath it, I gave you notes I made. Notes that help you understand these things. Maybe associate it to a rudiment in the rudiments page. You know, paradiddle diddle, whatever it is. Double paradiddles. But there's so many that are unnamed. So you know you can name any of these, right? La, ra, la. La, ra, la. Ra, ra, la, la, ra, la. That's my naming system. Ra, ra, la. La, ra, la. You can even put numbers. If, let's say you just didn't care about telling me in the rudiment name where the accent was, but if you wanted to, you could say ra, ra, la. But you could say just 2 ra. Because it's just 2 ra's. And a la, and la, ra, la. 2 ra's and a la, and la, ra, la. But you could say 2 ra's and 2 la, right? 2 ra's and a la, it's 2 la's. Because again, you don't really care about the accent, so you could just say 2 la, ra, la. That'd be 2 ra, 2 la, ra, la. It's the same, it's the same thing. Ra, ra, la, la, ra, la. 2 ra's, 2 la's, ra, la. So you can name it that way. There's all kinds of ways, shorthand ways but if you want to show the accents, you have to do that. So I'm just going to put these all on this part. Now the next table is looking at the same 2 groups, but instead of 3 and 3, in a binary phrasing. That's from the other series of videos from binary. That's looking at 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, and 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So that was our old example. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So that's the same thing with now 3 groups of 2 strokes. 2, 2, and 2. 3 groups of 2 strokes. 2, 2, and 2. And so you can see the accents. I made some notes so you can see that. And that's very helpful as well. And so I'm going to just jump ahead. 3 group combos. That's 3 groups of 3. That's 9 strokes. So normally 3, 3, 3 phrasing. And there's a lot of them here. This is really going to train your hands. There's 512. Then we go to 4 groups of 3. Now again, back on, I did 3, 3, 3, but you could do other combinations of internal phrasing by changing your accents. So you can go crazy with these. 4 groups of 3. Now we got 4 times 3 is 12 notes, right? And so it's 3, 3, 3, 3 note grouping. Again, you can change the accents to change the phrasing. and I'm scrolling down. There's going to be a lot of possibilities. What you're learning how to do is always prepare for the next accent. Always preparing by looking ahead as you're playing. Slowly, you're looking ahead at the next accent. So you got to get your hand up for that accent. You can't wait till the last second to get the hand up. You got to get the hand up as soon as it's done playing a soft stroke, right? For instance, I'm going to do a paradiddle. Now I'm going to do, so if I go right, left, right, I got to get that right hand up to come down. So that's at 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 1. You got to do that. But maybe you have more time to get it up. That's pretty quick. 3, 1. You could have about 1, 2, 3. How about 1, 2, 3, 4. See, I'm getting it up. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's not, but let's do 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See, it's still waiting for the next time it plays. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's try that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See, it got up as soon as they could because 5, 6 is not a right hand. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I got it up as soon as I could to get ready for the next accent. So we're still trying to find the end of this chart, which is just humongous. Wow. 4,096 combinations of 12 strokes, just doing, 3, 3, 3, 3 phrasing. So I give you an idea of how to expand this into 5 groups of 3. That's 15 strokes. 32,768 combinations is crazy. 6 groups, 18 strokes. 262,154 combinations. 7 groups of 21 strokes. 1,097,152 combinations. Wow. Wow. So you get an idea this is going to keep you busy. But, you know, I had a fun time exploring, being like a child. You know, God always just tells us, be like children. Be like children. Because, you know, children really play, and they learn by playing. They don't overthink things. They learn by doing, right? They learn by staying in joy. If it's not fun, they're going to stop real quick. So you got to stay in joy. And that joy is of the Lord. The joy is a flavor of the singular fruit of the Holy Spirit, the Spirit of God. Galatians 5, chapter 5, verse 22. Singular fruit. The fruit is singular. The fruit is the nature. A tree is known, its nature is known by its fruit. You know, a person is known by its fruit, their fruit, what comes out of their mouth, right? It's what makes a man unclean, not what goes into their mouth, what comes out of their mouth. What their life is doing makes them clean or unclean. Unclean meaning, you know, they're dirty. Those Pharisees and Sadducees, the stuff that's coming out of their mouth, vile, evil, wicked. So it was revealing their nature, their real nature. Their mouth was speaking it. So vulgarity is really revealing a lot of bitterness and anger and sewage. Vulgarity is sewage. It's like walking through a heap of sewage. People who have gone to hell, actually seen hell, were shown hell. Man, they said the vulgarity is just coming out like sewage. Why? Because as what's inside of man comes out, right? One way or another. So it reveals our heart, who we really are, right? Sewage. You know, vulgarity is sewage. So The singular fruit of the Holy Spirit is unconditional love. That's the fruit. I can taste the nature of God. It's unconditional. No strings attached. No strings attached. Unconditional love. No strings attached. Just totally pours it out. That's when you know God. If you're feeling that, you have tasted the real God. If you haven't tasted that, maybe you have some other God, but you don't have the real God. But the flavors, what's the first flavor that people talk about after they taste that love? A flavor, wow, what's that flavor? Joy. First thing, boom, joy. Second one, peace. Next one, patience. Next one, I have all videos for all of these. Because if you've experienced them, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, you got to go experience them, because it's just all head knowledge to you. But got to go experience them. So joy is a flavor, the first most dominant flavor that you experience. That's what children, why they're so close to God, they are enjoying. Nothing is blocking them from enjoying joy. And joy is the flavor, dominant, predominant flavor of the nature, description, characteristic, quality, whatever you want to call it. They're all adjective nouns, by the way. Joy is adjective noun in the Greek. So it's descriptions of unconditional love. It's describing unconditional love. It's a flavor, just like how do you describe a wine? The wine is the Spirit of God, unconditional love. That's it. That's the nature of God. So wine is an analogy. How do you describe that wine? Oh, it's very jammy. Oh my gosh, it's just so much tastes like fruit, sweet blueberry jam. So that's how you describe it. And then you might think, oh, but it kind of has a little bit of gravelly taste to it, you know. It's because they grew it in a bunch of gravel. The dirt was really gravelly, so it has this flavor of gravel in it. Anyway, I learned a lot about wines at once. So that's sort of what he's doing here. You know, he's describing with flavors this singular fruit, right? Oh, you know, it's Chardonnay fruit. It's one kind of fruit, Chardonnay fruit, or a Cabernet Sauvignon. That's a type of grape. You know, it's one kind of grape, and you're sitting there trying to describe it. Wow, it tastes like this, and then you think a while longer, and he goes, "Oh, it kind of tastes like this too." That's what Paul's doing because he experienced it. You know, it was revealed to him. But everybody who's been baptized in the Holy Spirit, filled with the Holy Spirit, with the abundant fullness of God, I mean, it's just overflowing. We'll tell you. That's what they had. You know, they felt the love and they felt the joy, and then they felt very peaceful afterwards. So it just goes down the line. Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, and goes down the line. So hope you got a lot out of this. Put your comments down on the bottom. Share them with other people so we can learn from one another. Whole page on that. Teach one another. Hope you do. Hope you do. God bless you. Bye-bye.